same time. And during this period of time, we typically have a 30-minute segment on Wednesdays. We do our best to do this on Wednesday if it works and it's convenient to do so. We open up for any questions that anyone has, and sometimes we have people that are in our program, sometimes there's people that aren't in our programs, but nonetheless, questions are being asked and they're coming into our inbox on a fairly regular basis. So we dedicate this time to address any questions. And so for today, we're going to be starting with a question that was submitted from Parker. And hopefully Parker is watching. That's another great thing. If you are going to submit a question to support@peggymccall.com, or whether you're submitting a question through our social media channels, please know that we take those questions very seriously and we definitely address them during these open Q&A calls, and we're delighted to do so. So if you have submitted a question, and you can either do it live while we're on the call here, or you can send it in advance and I will be sure to address them. We have Roddy on the call right now. Roddy is part of the Dynamic Destinies team, a very important part, a significant part, a valuable part. He really is, in my opinion, he's like running the whole show here, and my right-hand man, if you will, and he's here with us and also serving. He's grabbing any questions that are appearing either on Instagram or Facebook, and he's putting them into a WhatsApp, and that's where I see them, and there's a couple questions there already. And someone had sent me a question just privately through Messenger on Facebook. Please don't send questions that way. I typically don't read the Messenger messages that come in on Facebook, or not all of them. But if you do send it through support, then we'll absolutely get it there. And while we're live, we will address the questions while we're live as well. So that's how we support you. How am I doing, says Maddie? I'm doing fabulous, thank you very much. And you, how are you doing? Okay, so I am going to go to the first question that was submitted from Parker. And the question is that Parker is attempting to focus on goals. There are a lot of things that Parker wants. And the question is this: do I need several goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, or just big one goal? I condense it a bit rather than listing all of the wants. Well, you can have as many goals as you desire. I have a journal actually right here in my desk drawer. I call it my goals journal. And I have listed here all the things that I desire. But you don't put 1 year, 2 months, 3 months. You cannot tell the universe when your goal is going to manifest. You could have an idea in your mind that, yes, you'd like to have this manifest in a certain period of time. But to effectively write out your goal, you must write it out in the present tense. You must write your goal as if it's already done. So you would say, not in 1 year or in 5 years or in 3 years or in 2 months or whatever. You would say, I am. This is how you write your statement. I am so happy and so grateful now that, and then you write out that goal. Now, if you're someone who is a bit more logical thinking, left brain type, and you're thinking that you have to have a stepping stone to a goal and you have to set that as the next goal, and that's the way most people think, but you don't. Because you can manifest anything you want. No more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand prosperity and abundance than it is to accept misery and poverty. So what that means is you can manifest anything that you want within the realms of nature. So you sit down and you think about, what would I love? What would I really love? What would I love, absolutely love to have, do, be, experience in my life? Those are the goals that you set for yourself. Don't worry about the how. That's the greatest lesson you can ever learn as it relates to manifesting. You don't have to know how, but you must decide. You must dedicate yourself to it. You must write out your goal statement in the present tense as if it's already accomplished. You must feel as if that goal has already manifested in your life. Those are the musts. Those are the things that are absolutely essential and necessary for manifesting your goals and providing every day your feeling in your heart that your goal is already here, or your goals for that matter are already here. Then you're manifesting effectively. Now, a great way to sort of culminate or bring together all of your goals so that you're writing a statement that really reflects your amazing life is by creating a Power Life script. Okay, a Power Life script. Go to powerlifescript.com. And a Power Life script, when it's done effectively and properly, is written as if you're already living the life that you desire, including every aspect or every area of your life that's important to you. So if you're a mother, like I am, and you're a wife, perhaps, or a husband or a partner, like I am, and your relationships are important to you, and you have a career, perhaps, maybe a business, and you desire to be perfectly healthy, you desire to be perfectly wealthy, you desire to live in your dream home, and you desire to drive the vehicle that you desire and that you own it, and you always have an abundance of money to do whatever you want to do, and that your net worth is whatever you decide you'd like it to be. All of those things would be the types of things that you would write about in your Power Life script as if they're already in your life. So your Power Life script would be written in positive tense, present tense, pardon me, positive words only, and you want to make the images so vividly real in your mind that you feel it, right? The most important aspect to manifesting is how you're feeling. Okay, so when you're feeling the great joy, the gratitude, the knowing that your desire is already here, you're in full-on manifestation mode. But when you're feeling worried, or you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling doubtful, or you're feeling fearful, or you're feeling sad, those are all negative and do not support your outcomes. They're negative, destructive emotions. I'm not saying that you're never going to feel those emotions. You'll definitely feel those emotions. You're a human being. But here's what I suggest. Notice when you feel any emotion that's non-supportive of the outcomes that you desire, and switch yourself right out of those emotions as fast as humanly possible, because it only takes a little bit of poison to kill. And the poison is the negativity. The poison is the bad feelings. The poison is feeling fearful, feeling doubt, feeling anxious, feeling disillusioned, right? When you know and understand how manifestation works, which is rather simple, and you're following along by living the principles of manifestation, you're going to find you're going to manifest anything and everything you want, and you're going to start manifesting with lightning speed. And so that's really the process. So Parker, you can set as many goals as you want. Don't tell the universe how it's going to happen, though. Just be cautious of that. I see a lot of people doing that, right? They're telling the universe, okay, well, this year I'm going to earn this, and then next year I'm going to earn that, and then the year after I'm going to do this and that. Like, okay, you don't have to figure that out at all. You want to get in harmony with the outcome as if it's in your life, meaning feeling as if it's in your life right now. And when you are, you're going to manifest that. Okay? So I really appreciate you asking the question. It's just such a great question. The next question we have is from RT. Good to see you back, RT. That's really wonderful. And the question is, I have more than 4 Power Life scripts within 1 year, and some stuff has already been manifested. Should I cut out what has already been manifested and make a completely new one? Wonderful question, Artie, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you're asking. So here's what I suggest with that. When you've accomplished a goal, a particular goal, and I'll give you an example of that. When I manifested my wonderful relationship with my husband, Danny, it's so important to me. Our marriage is a wonderful marriage. I'm very grateful for my husband, and our marriage is amazing. We laugh a lot together. We have so much fun together, and it really is like that. It's not necessarily a goal that I have, but that is in my life right now. It's such an important part of my life that I include it in my Power Life script. So because it's already happened and it is in my life right now, I do give it attention. Yes, my Power Life script also includes things that haven't manifested yet, but they're written as if they're manifested. So things that are important to you, Artie, even though you've already accomplished them, leave them in if you want. Like if you're talking about, having your successful business and serving clients in such amazing ways, and you're really enjoying that and loving that, and then include it. right? Include it. Don't let it go, because you want to keep it in the forefront of your mind, and more importantly, feel it in your heart. Like, just really have that grateful heart for the wonderful things that you've manifested in your life. And it'll get better, because anything can get better. Anything and everything can get better. So in my Power Life script, I definitely talk about my relationship with my husband. And it is quite often the first thing that I mention in my Power Life script. And it is something that I'm already experiencing, but it's so important to me that I keep it in my Power Life script. All right. Thank you. All right. Our next question is for Madi. And the question is, does your book Savvy Wisdom speak on how to raise children in the correct way? What a fabulous question. I guess you haven't read it. And, for anyone that's watching this, the question is about Savvy Wisdom. Now, I'm not sure if it's book 1 or book 2, but there's 2 of them. They're parables. They're really written as a fiction and based on my life and meeting the incredible Bob Proctor and having a relationship with him. So in the first book, in Savvy Wisdom, Sophie meets this wise gentleman on a park bench, and they establish a relationship that develops. And of course, when you read these, you'll understand a little bit more about me and what I've gone through, and how I've overcome that. So the question is asked, are they books that are giving guidance on how to be, raise children in the right way? I would say yes. Now, why would I say that? Because the more you can develop yourself, the more you can express a version of yourself that is happy and grateful and joyful and focused on the good things in your life, the more you are going to be a great example for children. You see, children are watching. We learn a lot from observation. Children learn a lot from observation. There's a term called learned behavior. And learned behavior is based on children observing what their parents are doing. So if you're the type of parent that is, and now this isn't you, of course, but I'll use a couple different examples. If there is a parent out there, not of course in our group, but if there's a parent out there that is irresponsible, being disrespectful, not waking up and going to work on time, going in late, getting them in trouble, maybe drinking too much, swearing, abusing their physical body in some way, and yet they're saying to their children, don't swear, eat healthy, get to school on time. But their demonstration or their behavior is not that. The children's learning. They're learning from observation what the parent's doing. So it doesn't matter what's coming out of the parent's mouth. They're watching that parent. They're watching that parent every day, and they're learning from the parent. So the best thing you can do for a child is twofold. One, bring out the greatest version of who you are. Be a great role model for your children. Show them what success looks like. Show them what positivity looks like. Show them what gratitude looks like. Show them what someone who goes for their dreams looks like. Show them all of that by being that version, right? So that's one thing. The second part is teach them. Teach children. If you're someone like me who's into the study of success, and speaking of study, every one of you should be in Club Achieve. It's a 7-day free trial. Get in there. We study together every day, 5 days a week. And study with your children. Like, you'd be amazed at their capacity for learning and for expanding their consciousness. So if you're someone who is into the study of success and you discovered something that is absolutely profound, perhaps an idea that's really made a big difference in your life, teach your children about that. So that's how you can be a wonderful, loving, incredible parent, teaching your children about how to be the best version of who you are and how to create whatever it is that they desire or whatever it is that you desire. Let them go for their dreams. Invite them to use their imagination and suggest that they dream big, like the sign says, right behind my head here. And that's another thing. Like, I have all these signs around my home. I know when my grandson comes to visit me, and if I pick him up in my vehicle, he's going to be coming here this weekend. We're going to a hockey game together. And if my grandson is with me, he is being introduced to, and he has since he was a baby, And same thing with my son. He is being introduced to these positive materials because that's what grandma's studying or that's what mommy was studying. And so it's good for them too. I remember one time I picked up my grandson and he was with one of his friends. And in my vehicle, I'm always listening to my Power Life script. Always. I have Bluetooth on, it's connected to my phone. And if I get my vehicle, it just starts. And sometimes if I'm going on longer road trips, I'll listen to some other audios by Napoleon Hill or Bob Proctor or Earl Nightingale or someone like that. And so if my grandson's with me, and actually I'm taking him to the theater in Toronto in July, which is a 4-hour drive there and a 4-hour drive back, we'll be listening to these materials. And at his young age, he's getting this great exposure. It's good for him, very good for him. So there's a way that you can really do a great thing and be of great service to your children. All right, the next question is, do you think positive thoughts manifest reality? Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on if your thoughts are focused on an outcome. And of course, anytime you're in a positive vibration or in a happy vibration, it's also called a feel-good state. When you're feeling good, which is positive, you will attract good. All right? You're definitely going to attract good into your life. It's a very simple understanding. When you're feeling bad, you're going to attract more bad into your life. I know you don't want it, but that's the way it works, right? That's why people continue to have crappy things happen to them, because that's all they're giving their attention to is like, oh my God, life's so tough and I don't have any money and blah, blah, blah. And they're just continually giving that energy. And then what manifests? More of the same. And then someone says to them, how you doing? They go, same old, same old. Why? Because that's what they're thinking about. Then when you're thinking positive, yeah, it produces positive results. And the great truth is you've got an incredible, powerful source of creation. That's your consciousness, right? And I'm talking about your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, working in harmony with the natural laws of the universe. And so, yeah, you can produce positive results when you feel as if they're already in your life, because feeling is the secret. It is the secret to manifesting, which means you feel good, you attract good. Right. Okay. Why is a child born with illnesses? Have they attracted that illness before they were born? This is why I lost faith in these laws. Well, I would say this, that do not allow that to impact you in a negative way. All right? Stuff happens that we can't explain everything, right? And like last year, I was diagnosed with cancer, as you may or may not know. And I never, ever once asked this question, why me? Never. It was an experience unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And even though there was a big part of it that was absolutely horrendous, I mean, it really was. I had cancer in my mouth and in my neck, and I had radiation, and it was pretty brutal. However, what I did was I chose to look at where's the blessing. Now, there's going to be adversity in everyone's life. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, there's going to be adversity. Understand that's part of the human experience. And you just have to learn how to manage through it. Not always go, why me, why me? Does that serve you? No. So why is a child born with illness? I don't know. Did that innocent little being manifest it? I doubt it. I doubt it. Some people would say yes, at some level. I don't know. I don't know why. But what I would do is I would do everything in my power to focus on, health, or find the blessing in the experience. What about this experience, has a blessing. Like a number of years ago, and it wasn't really that long ago in the big scheme of things, I've mentioned my grandson, James, who I'm obviously very close with, who I love. I'm so proud of. He's such a wonderful young man. And he's 10 and a half years of age. He'll be 11 in August. And when he was 6, he ended up in the hospital, and they didn't know what was wrong. He had seizures for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, where typically seizures last about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, sometimes less. and he ended up being intubated, and he was in a coma. They didn't know what caused it. They didn't know, what was going to happen, and it was a very scary time. And I remember at the time I called my good friend and mentor Bob Proctor, and I called him at 4 in the morning, because I received a call at 1 in the morning that James had been taken to emergency, and I got out of bed and I drove to the hospital right away. But the reason I called Bob at 4 in the morning was because I was literally out of my mind, which meant I was very emotional, and understandably very emotional. But I wanted to get a hold of myself, right? Get a hold of my emotions. And I called Bob, and he helped. And what he said to do is he said, close your eyes and see James playing. See him riding his bike, see him laughing. Because the night before that happened, I had James here with us at our home. We had gone out for dinner, we went to a movie, we went bike riding together or cycling together, and so, you know, that it was just so surprising what had happened to him, and all of a sudden he's, on life support and in a hospital, and they don't know, what's going on or what's going to happen. And Bob said, just put your hand on him. And I couldn't get to him. He was in intensive care. Only his mom and dad were allowed in. But I told Kayla to do this, and she did. And just, give all your energy to seeing him healed, to see him playing, to see him well, and have everyone do that. And that's what we were doing. I mean, that's what I was doing. Now, there were times where I was feeling very fearful, but I'd notice when it was there, and I'd switch right back to what would I love? I'd love to see James healthy and back. And then one morning, Kayla sent me a text and said James woke up. And it had been several days that he was in this coma, and he woke up. They didn't even know why he woke up. They didn't understand. The hospital is still a mystery, as to what happened and why it happened. But he woke up, and of course they had pumped him full of all kinds of drugs, so he wasn't himself the first day. And then the next day he woke up and he was back. And Kayla sent me a message saying he's back. It's our James, the James we know, the James we love. He is back. And so it was a miracle. So sometimes we can't explain why did things happen. I know people ask me, why did Bob Proctor die? He was celebrating his 100th birthday. I don't know. It was his time. He felt it was his time. And we have certain control over certain things, but we can't control everything in our lives. I mean, at some point, we're all going to perish from this earthly plane. And so, I simply suggest to, find the blessing. What is the blessing in the situation? There's always something that you can pull from an adversity experience that has a blessing. For me to go through what I went through last year, many blessings. It really invited me to, evaluate my own life and make a decision to step up, to do more, to give more, to be more, excuse me, to serve more in any way and every way that I could. Excuse me, even though for a period of time I was feeling very weak. I had been weakened from the treatment, and it is what it is, nurture, take care, and get back, and get back. And that's exactly what I did, and made a decision to live in a healthy body. And so it's in the past. And the truth is, we cannot do anything about what happened in the past. We can harvest the good, which is what I suggest that we do, and let go, like forgive if necessary, and let go of the past, and just focus on the blessings. All right. The next question is from Malali. How can we access the Club Achieve trial and make our mind if it is the right time for the commitment with the club? Well, you have to decide that. It's up to you whether you want to expand your level of understanding. But I'll tell you this, unless and until you do, nothing's going to change. And I say nothing's going to change very lightly, because things do change. They get worse, or they get better if you're on the side of getting better. The Club Achieve is a phenomenal program. I think it's one of the best that I've ever launched in the history of being on this planet. And we not only study But what I do is I explain what the information really means and then how to apply it into your life. Because it doesn't matter how much studying you're doing, if you don't understand what you're studying and you don't apply it, it means nothing. As a matter of fact, it's probably a waste of time, which is true. I have this little segment I shared with my team this morning, and we should put this, Roddy, if you can put this on Facebook somewhere, maybe put it in the chat box and put it on Instagram. I'm going to read this. This is a little section out of one of the books that I'm currently studying called The Secret of the Ages by Robert Collier. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to explain to you what it means and how you can apply this, what he's recommending here, okay? So here's what Robert Collier says. He says, you know that you can have what you want if you want it badly enough and can believe it earnestly enough. Now, I'm just going to stop right there before I read on. You must believe it. It's not enough to just say, yes, I'd love to have this in my life. You must believe it earnestly. So tonight, just before you drop off into sleep, concentrate your thought on this thing, which is your goal, that you most desire from life. Believe that you have it. See yourself, use your imagination, see yourself possessing it. Feel yourself using it. So Neville Goddard says, when you have a desire for something to manifest, you've got to vividly imagine it with all senses of reality, right? So this is see yourself. That's a vision. That's a sense of reality, right? Feel yourself. That's a sense of reality. What do you hear? Like one of the things that I talk about in my Power Life script is hearing the sound of the waves, hit against the shoreline, right? So that puts you right into the spirit of feeling the wish fulfilled. All right. This is what I'm reading to you right now. Do that every night until you actually do believe that you have the thing you want. When you reach that point, you will have it. Here's what I'm going to suggest. Yes, do it every night, but do it every day too. Do it throughout the day. And that's Power Life Script. So back in the 90s, that's why I created the Power Life Script. It is the most powerful technique to manifest anything you desire. So go to powerlifescript.com. Everyone should have a Power Life Script. And this is not only Robert Collier who says when you reach that point, you will have it. Every other speaker, author, writer knows this. It's written in all the materials from the ages. And I know personally because I've experienced it multiple times, manifesting things literally out of thin air. And that's what you can do. You use the power that's within you, get in harmony with the laws of the universe, and you will manifest it. And then he goes on to say, even better than making such suggestions to yourself is to put them on a record and have them played to you while you are asleep. This is the most successful method yet discovered. Power Life Script, my friends. Robert Collier talked about it, and he wrote that book in 1925. I designed the Power Life Script. I trademarked it in the 90s. All right. This is the most successful method yet discovered. You know what else it is? It's the easiest method ever. We have been told that the Army used this method with great success during the war in teaching languages. Certainly, it would be the quickest way to learn any difficult subject. So it works with anything, absolutely works with anything. Okay, we're almost at 12:30 here right now. What are some tips to staying on the right frequency of what I desire when I'm in a situation of past manifestations that are undesirable? You are not in a situation of past manifestations being undesirable unless you're allowing yourself to be. So stop that. Don't go there. It's in the past. You can't change that. All right? Find the blessings from it. Move on. That's what most people are doing, though. It's not a criticism. It's just the way most people are living their life, looking in the rearview mirror. Not going to get you to where you want to go. Looking in your rearview mirror, you're going to crash. It's not pleasant. It's not pretty. So what are tips to stay on the right frequency? Is you must imagine yourself right into the experience that you desire. So use your Power Life Script. All right. This is the most powerful technique there ever was. Now, when your Power Life Script is written effectively, as you'll find and discover in the program that we have called the Power Life Script, when it's written in the present tense, where you can see in your imagination, where your outcomes are vividly real, when you feel it in your heart, you're going to manifest it. Absolutely, bam, you will manifest it. It works like magic. And this is not something that I just invented. I invented the Power Life Script process, yes, but the process of manifesting is not what I invented. This has been around for centuries. And I think it's time you started tapping into your own power. I really believe it's time you just say, you know what? Enough is enough. It's time. No more playing small. It's time for you to manifest anything and everything you desire. And it's going to take some definite discipline. You are going to need to make a decision that is how you're choosing to live your life. No more playing small, no more living in the past, no more experiencing that garbage and crap from before, getting out of that negative energy, that destructive energy. You're going to pay attention to what that inner voice is saying to you and create the language of success in your own consciousness by scripting it and recording it and listening to it. The truth is this. When you hear something over and over and over and over again, you will start to believe it. You're absolutely going to start to believe it. But you got to push play, right? That is one thing that you definitely need to do. Yes, you write your Power Life Script. Power Life Script is about your life, all right? Your entire life. So if you don't know how to do it, don't just do it haphazardly, because I've seen people write Power Life Scripts that are probably more destructive than they are creative. Follow my guidance, okay? Go to my website. I got a free ebook that we give away, PeggyMcColl.com, or sign up for the program. Like, I suggest everyone get the program. And even if you don't like hearing the sound of your voice, which I hear from people from time to time, I've recorded audios that you can listen to where I'm talking to you. And when I'm talking to you, I'm talking about how amazing you are, how powerful you are, how incredible you are, how you are manifesting what you desire. Okay, so that's a big part of that program, is loaded up with a huge amount of valuable stuff that can change your life for the better. Everything in my life has changed. Everything in my life has changed, from how I feel about myself to all the results that I've produced. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for hundreds and millions or billions of people. Everyone out there, I want them to live a better life, because it's possible. It's possible for anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter if you have money or you don't have money. Anyone and everyone can live an incredible life, but you have to decide. You've got to make that decision, and then you commit. There's a big difference between wishing and committing. You must commit. Commit to be successful. Oh, thank you. It's truly a treasure. I'm glad I signed up. So much content, just what I needed. I appreciate you saying that on Instagram. All right, my friends. Well, it is a wrap for today. I really appreciate you being here. More importantly, I'd appreciate if you follow through on what my recommendations are. What we do here at Dynamic Destinies is we help people live a more extraordinary life, because it's your birthright. You deserve it. And we want to help you get there. We want to help you experience that. So we'll take you to the point. I understand this. I've been studying it for 43 plus years. This is not a casual thing. I've been in business for 28 years. This is not a casual sidebar thing. And I've experienced it time and time again with manifesting goal after goal after goal after goal, manifesting real estate, manifesting my relationship with my amazing husband, manifesting perfect health in my body after going through what I went through. I've tried it on everything. I suggest you do the same. All right, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. We really love you. We appreciate you. Thank you, Roddy, for grabbing all those questions and for being a co-server with me. And look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.